My name is James Brown and I am an agricultural business consultant in the Banbury office, and I'm here with Kath Whitrow, agricultural business consultant in the Banbury office but covering Wales and the borders. Kath recently joined us after a career in agricultural banking spanning over 30 years, and alongside this she also runs her family farm with her son in the Brecon Beacons. Kath, can you explain what services we offer to clients with regards to lending and dealing with the banks?
Well, in the agricultural business consultancy section, we deal predominantly with financial analysis of a business. That could be looking back at the historics to enable a business to determine its capability of borrowing. It could be just monitoring their performance, but also looking at projections to see the capability of the business opportunities going forward for expansion, taking on new debt opportunities, changing in structures, etc.
And as a ex-banker, can you explain what lenders may require when requesting more money or an extension to the overdraft?
First and foremost, financial information is key. So having up-to-date financial accounts from your last year end, that's critical. But if you're looking to expand or increase your facilities, it's more likely these days that banks will want some form of forward projection. So looking at how the business is going to perform in the next 2 to 3 years. And on that, they have a responsibility as lenders to make sure that they don't lend the clients into trouble, and therefore that you can afford any new debt that you're taking on. And the only way to do that is look back at the historics and look forward at what the future of the business is capable of delivering.
You mentioned there, Kath, that obviously the bank would like to look at forward projections. What in particular would they like to look at in terms of information to review a potential request for additional funds?
First and foremost, they're looking at serviceability. Can the business afford to repay the debt it's being asked to lend? So it would be looking at the historic accounts and the forward projections, but predominantly it's the cash. It's not just the net profit, it's the cash that the business produces. So we call that the source and application of funds. Where's the cash coming from and where's it going to? And that combined with a cash flow forecast tells you month on month how the business is looking, how it can adhere to its facilities. Those are the three real elements that the bank would be looking for.
And you mentioned there serviceability. Am I right in thinking that when calculating the serviceability of a business, that HPs and family loans were included within that calculation?
Absolutely. The bank will be looking at all of the debt requirements of that business, no matter who the lender is. So if you've got HP on a quad or a track, that will be taken into account.
Okay, and you also talked about interest rates. Can you just explain to me the difference between margin and the base rate, please?
So today, Bank of England, who set the base rate, is 4.25%, and the risk premium, which would be different for every client and is dependent on a number of factors, including the financial performance of your business, security, the sector that you're in, for example. So if, for example, you're paying 2% over base rate, then today you'd be paying 6.25%. There are, of course, fixed rate options available for longer term lending.
Thank you. Finally, I know in the past extensions to overdraft and new loans have been secured fairly quickly. What time frame should customers allow for additional money or extensions to overdraft, do you believe?
There's certainly more responsibility on banks now to undertake due diligence, whether it's for a short-term overdraft increase or for a long-term lending requirement for a purchase of a farm or machinery. But that is, a requirement of banks these days. So I would say you should be looking at, weeks rather than, days or a week. And potentially longer. The key thing is to be ready at any opportunity. You never know when something might come up and you might need a short-term increase in your facility. So have your accounts up to date. And if you think that an opportunity might present itself in the future, then look at projecting your business forward so you can provide the bank with the information quickly to help them to make their decisions quickly.
Thank you, Kath. I think that's given a really good summary of both how Brown&Co can assist clients with regards to the lending requirements, but also what clients should be considering when looking at either opportunities that may come their way or needing to request an extension to their overdraft. This is the second in a series of podcasts. Our next one will be on machinery auctions and sales. But in the meantime, thank you very much for listening.